splash. J'ai sur mon lit à bouffer sa langue en buvant trop mon whisky. Quant à moi, peu dormi, vie débris. Mais j'ai dû dormir dans la gouttière où j'ai eu un flash. En 4 couleurs.
What up, what up? Welcome to my penthouse in Miami that definitely I own and it's not rented. Like I said, this is my apartment. I own it. I don't rent it. It's in my name. Yeah. What up, players? Today we're going to be breaking down one of the goats of creators from our generation, at least, Mr. TJR. He's a trading creator that I'm sure most of you have heard of, but he's certainly taken the internet by storm. In a normal trading world, most creators are pretty boring, pretty business first, and that's really it, not much personality. Where Mr. TJR came out of nowhere and danced online, sucking. Okay. So, not literally, but yeah. I'm going to break down his business from my point of view, outside in. Obviously, I don't have inside information in regards to numbers and whatnot, but we'll do our best analysis that we can. I've worked with many creators that do tens of millions of dollars a year, so I have a pretty good insight into how this stuff works. And the point of this is I'm hoping that if you are trying to scale your own creator business, then you can at least take some insights and value out of this and scale your business even faster. So in true TJR fashion, I've rented a penthouse in Miami, as most online creators do, but I feel like I cannot do a TJR analysis video without a tequila lime soda, TLS. So yes, thank you very much. Cheers. All right. Actually, I have one more sip before we start. All right, let's dig in. So first of all, I think we need to discuss why TJR has sort of taken this space by storm, because it's very rare that someone can come into a space that's traditionally boring and, something like trading, you're talking about like Wall Street here, you're talking about like people that go to university to study finance to get into trading, right? This guy's come out of nowhere. He dresses like he's, straight out of Chrome Hearts, and young and clearly having fun. And he makes it look, he makes it look fun. And his personality is able to then hit a mass amount of people. Because I see this young dude, he's, having fun, he's got a lot of money, and he just sits there and day trades in his house all day and he makes millions of dollars doing it. So from an outside-in perspective, he's positioned it in a very, very smart way. And that's why, obviously, he's been able to get so many people interested in it. Now, his market is beginners, right? So there's always going to be a challenge with beginners and going into a business like avenue, like trading, because selling high ticket is obviously very hard with beginners. You're talking about people that want to make money and don't have money. So in regards to the funnel and how you do things, it's very, very different. A lot of people will either take the lower ticket route where they want to sell something cheaper, obviously across a lot of people, versus selling a high ticket product. Whereas TJR kind of sits in the middle where his product isn't cheap by any means, but it's not so expensive that someone that is a beginner that does just work a regular job couldn't pay for or save up for or finance, which I'm sure most of them do. Let me take another sip of this. So the core of everything for him is his YouTube channel. Now, his YouTube channel is pretty nuts because you're talking about someone that's uploading pretty much every single day and getting really decent views. But not only that, he live streams himself day trading every day for, between 45 minutes and sometimes 2 hours. And he's still pulling in like minimum 50K views on a hour to 2 hour long live stream video, which is crazy. So his connection with his audience, his retention with his audience is off the charts. And that is the foundation of the success, and that goes with any creator. It's if you can get a lot of views on literally you just sitting there and essentially live streaming or long form content, you will always make so much more money than anyone else. So he clearly understands that. And the daily live streaming thing is genius because it's just showcasing what he's literally going to teach you in his product. And you see him make money. He's also transparent with that in that, you know, this day he made 100,000, this day he lost 161,000. So he's extremely transparent with his trading. So you really do feel like connected. You can watch for weeks at a time before you take the leap and go, you know what, I'm going to try this. So whether that's intentional or not by him, it's genius and it's kind of played out in the best way possible for him. He obviously does these like sit down videos as well, which are more like, you know, the classic talking head, you know, Iman Ghazi-esque videos. But because he does the mixture of that, the live streaming, and then the vlogs, which obviously the vlogs would be straight top of funnel where, you know, he's just showcasing, you know, all the flashy shit, his Koenigsegg, you know, which we'll get into, his cars, etc. So his YouTube channel is actually, looks messy from the outside in when you look at it like this, but it is actually a work of art because it really would just be converting like crazy. So that's his YouTube. Now his Instagram also rips. He clearly understands it. So like his feed is obviously just aesthetic stuff, which is what he's trying to sell at the end of the day. But then his reels, he posts a lot of reels, and it's very, very, very top of funnel. It's like semi TikTok shit posting, but it's funny because it's him. He doesn't give a single fuck really, and that's why people love it. His reels would pop up on so many people's algorithms, and then eventually they click on his profile, they see the aesthetic shit, they see that this dude that's shit posting has a freaking $3 million car, and they're like, who is this guy? So just from the outside in, it's the perfect funnel for a top of funnel. And then they'll eventually go to his YouTube channel, and that's when they're sold. So I would say most of his conversions would be coming from YouTube, but a lot of them would be trickling from Instagram. Then he's got his TikTok, same deal. TikTok is just pure shit posting. And we'll get into his TikTok funnel as it's actually different than his other ones. And then he's got other platforms like Snapchat. It's only got 30K, doesn't really post on it. And he's got a Facebook as well, but same kind of deal, doesn't really post on it. So now let's get into his kind of easy, low-hanging fruit things he can do right now to just instantly make more money. Really, because he's got so many followers on all these platforms, I would say it's just literally one, posting more on Snapchat. He's already got a team that creates so many clips, and I've heard him talking about, you know, how much he's investing in clippers. Just post way more on Snapchat and also post way more on Facebook. How many followers do you have on Facebook again? 1.2K. Okay, so he doesn't post on Facebook. So basically all he'd have to do is one, turn on auto posting on Instagram and just post on Facebook automatically because he's already posting on Instagram, because not a lot of people know this, but Facebook pays way more than any other platform. So with the amount of content that he's posting, if he just literally turned on auto posting from Instagram, he could be making 100,000 a month quite easily with his content, and he doesn't have to do a single thing more. So that's one thing I'd recommend. Same goes with Snapchat. You've already got the team that's making the content, just distribute it across all the platforms because you're getting so many views. You're just gonna make more money from the platforms without having to do anything more. So that's just one small recommendation for the big fella. Not that he needs an extra 100K anyway, but it might help pay for some cleaners or something. But anyway, so basically his main funnel and his main product is this trading blueprint. Now it's, like I said before, it's high ticket for beginners. I think, you know, this information isn't necessarily public, but I believe his main core offer is around $4,500. Now again, that's quite expensive for a beginner product, you know. That's a lot of money for someone that's in a 9-to-5 to be buying, and that's his core audience. However, it's not too much, like I said at the start, that it's out of the question. And I'm sure because he works very, very closely with WAP, as you can see here, he even claims WAP number one. WAP obviously has crazy payment infrastructures and finance options. So I would very much say that they would have a really, really, really good financing option available where they can pay in installments for quite a long time. So it becomes very digestible to them. But basically, it's a it's a course. It's like mentorship. It's like community. It's basically you're going to learn how to day trade and like essentially learn from TJR. So from an offer standpoint, obviously it makes so much sense because these people that are watching his content, you know, finding him on top of funnel on TikTok, Instagram, etc., trickling down to his YouTube, then getting interested in day trading because of him, because of the way that he gallivants around the world, spends so much money, hangs out with these people, and all of it's coming from day trading. They're like, I want a piece of this. So it is a absolutely genius offer, and it comes back down to that like value standpoint, right? Like the audience that is trickling down to watch his YouTube, they are now interested in knowing how to day trade and how it works and how do you make money from it, etc. So they just consume the content that he makes, and I'm sure his backlog as well. They eventually will get sold to join, right? So, but when you come to the landing page, learn the day trading system generating 256K in payouts. Click below to discover my unique approach making thousands of day traders profitable. Now, what you'll notice is that you click get access now, and it just asks for your details. It doesn't give you any information. Now, when you put in the details, it'll take you to a VSL page where essentially it'll be a video that you have to watch, and only then can you book in a call. You can't go direct to purchase or anything like that. They don't show any prices. You have to book in a call. Now, I know for a fact that TJR's biggest issue would be lead qualification, meaning that he has so many people trying to like go through his funnel. They need to qualify people. And that's why you'll notice that one, you have to put in your details first. So now they have your information. That's a big key, because if they have the price and stuff like that before, someone might be like, this is way too expensive. So they're getting the data first. They're making you watch an entire video where he explains, you know, a lot of details around the offer, what you're going to be getting, etc., pre-selling them. Then you book in a call, then you jump on a call, and basically that's the point where they will try and sell you on, you know, the offer. But even before the call, they have heaps and heaps of emails, text, stuff like that, pre-selling you and also trying to pre-qualify you, because they really make a point that if you jump on the call and you waste their time, they literally say like they'll blacklist you. And that's purely because of the amount of people that would be trying to book calls and not even knowing how expensive it is. And at this point for his business, the biggest bottleneck is people wasting his salespeople's time and jumping on calls, because those salespeople need to be pumping out calls and closing, but you know, having to qualify all these people would actually be extremely challenging. So they do make a big deal about that, because I know that they book around 600 calls a day. So you do the math on that, you know, a normal close rate's like 30 to 35%. So that's a lot of money, right? But even to handle 600 sales calls a day, you need a lot of salespeople. So his attention would be probably very, very dragged into like managing salespeople. Now I know he doesn't manage them personally, and that's actually a very, very smart thing, because I think one thing that TJR understands is that he needs to put all of his attention on content, because that's his biggest leverage in this whole thing. If he starts trying to manage a team of salespeople, it's not going to end well. He's not doing the thing that he is like the best at and letting other people manage that. And I think with creators, like that is the number one most important thing. But anyway, so then you obviously go on the sales call. They try and stay on the call. If you can't, then they'll obviously have, you know, finance options, stuff like that. They'll have down sells as well, most likely. That's, you know, less expensive, but still, you know, somewhat expensive. And then obviously once you're in the program, then the whole thing is created for, you go through the mentorship, and then there's upsells on the back end. You know, I'm not sure how much they actually are, but I'm going to guess it's like, you know, 10K plus maybe. And I'm sure they have even more expensive upsells as well. But that's for another video. That's the ecosystem of high ticket info. So this is his main funnel here for YouTube. Same for Instagram. Now, interestingly enough, TikTok has a different landing page. Now, you have to watch this video to even be able to go to the next stage. Now, it's actually very funny because it's like a 3-minute video. So basically what he's saying is, if you can't even sit through a 3-minute video, then get the fuck out. And seeing as though they're coming from TikTok, it actually makes sense. So we had one of our spies go through the sales funnel, and it's actually kind of funny because if you book through TikTok, you have to prepay to book a call, therefore again, qualifying them, because imagine how many numbnuts would be coming from his TikTok and trying to book in calls. You have to prepay for the call, and if you opt out, then they just send you to a link, and it's the McDonald's job application link. So that's kind of funny, low key. But yeah, they just, again, comes down to the qualifications step, where it's like they need to be ruthless about qualifying through TikTok because so many numbnuts will be coming through. So yeah, like that makes sense. So like this is his one funnel, and I think it's very smart to just have one funnel. Like he also has Killtech, which is a clothing brand. Now that for him would be more of a passion project / side hustle. And don't get me wrong, it would be extremely profitable because there's not much to it. It's clothing, and he sells it quite expensive. It's positioned as a high-end thing, and that will just continue to scale as well. He'll do more drops. I think the new drop's actually dropping soon. I'll have a look. I was on it the other day. Yeah, in 3 days. He'll probably gross between 500K to $1.5 million on a drop. He might take home, he's got a business partner, and he might take home 200, 300K a drop right now, something like that. And then obviously having to reinvest money into stock and whatnot. So it'd be a nice revenue stream for him, but it's certainly not the heartbeat of his operation. Whereas this would be absolutely where, he'd be making a lot of money. Now, in regards to like things that he could potentially do to make even more money, obviously I already talked about like the Facebook stuff. It's just the content optimization, the distribution, just expanding that. Like that's such low-hanging fruit because they're already doing the work. So expanding onto those other platforms is so low time input, but at such high potential output. But I think with his funnel, look, this page doesn't really give you much, and obviously it's done on purpose. But I think like there could be more qualification done from the get-go, but also more selling done from the get-go, because as the fact that he is selling to beginners and randoms, like they don't even know how this works. So if you jump on this page and all of a sudden you have to put in your details to see more, I think that would probably be a friction point for a lot of beginners because they just think, what am I getting into here? They don't even know. And there's no explanation around what they're actually getting when they put in this data. Even just a simple sentence saying, enter your information and you'll be granted access to the training video where you'll get X, Y, and Z. Like even that would probably increase the click-through rate by quite a lot. But these are the things you have to A/B test because I obviously don't know the inner workings, and he could have done this A/B test and this could be ripping so much harder. So I don't know. Oh my God, my computer just died. So anyway, I think I've recorded enough on my screen anyway though. But yeah, I think that's probably the first thing I would recommend. Just like this goes to anyone out there that's trying to do this, like A/B testing is so critical because if you've got a landing page that's getting a 2% conversion rate, you might A/B test and get something to do 3%. But when you're talking the amount of traffic that TJR can drive to his pages, like that's a big difference. And a lot of people just don't A/B test enough. They have a landing page and they go, looks great, but they don't think about it psychologically. Like, okay, if someone comes to this page, what are they thinking at this point? And what do they need to hear or see in order to get over those objections they might be having? So that's really one thing. And I'm sure as well he's tried this, but as he has such a huge market of people that, probably cannot afford his products, a low ticket product that is intentionally made to try and get people to upsell into his core offer could be, a very good idea because based on the amount of views he's getting, there is so many people that would be buying that product. But also he maybe not wanting to do that because he doesn't want to devalue his overall core offer. So anyway, I'm sure he's thought about this, but if he hasn't and you're watching this, TJR, I'd love to talk to you and help you. No strings attached. We can maybe have a tequila lime soda together. But anyway, that's my audit of TJR. So yeah, if you are trying to grow your own creative business and you want help with any of these things, feel free to just book in a call below. You'll talk to me and we can run through your current situation and what you need help with. And hopefully we can work together. But anyway, I hope you enjoyed the video and I'll see you on the next one. Cheers.